How's it going, guys? Pepper Spice here. How you guys doing? Hope you guys doing alright. This is super fast. No, I'm talking super fast, but alright. So this is just a very short vlog. I'm gonna keep this super short, and it's basically just whatever. I'm just gonna talk about my experience at Summer Jam 8. That was just past last weekend. I had a great time. Met a lot of cool people. Shoutouts to Fred Distance. Shoutouts to Core Commando. Bloodhawk, Fighting Jam, and all those dudes. But yeah, let me just talk about quickly my experience in the tournament, my experience at Summer Jam. Got there, just before Tekken, a good time before Tekken started. Played a lot of casuals, had a lot of good time. There were a decent amount of subs for Tekken, not as much as the main games like Marvel or Street Fighter, but it was a pretty decent amount of subs, like 8, I think. And the tournament itself was really well run, I felt, but unfortunately there were a lot of people who just weren't around for their match or whatever. So there were a lot of disqualifications and a lot of people who just quit. So a lot of buys, a lot of that. And I did fairly well in casuals. A lot of back and forth and a lot of me stopping people. Mostly say 55% win rate, maybe 60%, I guess. Maybe more than that. Maybe like 65, I guess. I don't want to boast because obviously I didn't win, or I'm not even top 8, so I have nothing to talk about there. But the tournament went fairly well. My first match, I was seeded already because I have a bye. I have a disqualification, so I immediately had the second round. So that means I didn't start. I didn't fight in the tournament for a while because I was in the second pool, of the 4 o'clock pool. So it was a while before I fought. Initially, I was in a pool with no killers, not a lot of crazy players in it. And that was a 2 p.m. pool, but I believe someone complained. I don't know who. Maybe it was Fighting GM. I don't know who complained. But somebody complained that there were too many killers in someone's pool, and they moved their brackets around and moved players around. So the brackets got scrambled. So I was moved into Fighting GM's pool at 4 p.m. instead of 2 p.m. So I played at 4 p.m. instead of 2. And like I said, first match disqualification, so I immediately second round waited, and I waited for the winner of another match. And when I finally got to play, I played against Spirojin, who I don't know much about him, but from what I understand, he's a veteran of the Tekken series. He's been in the scene for a while, but he's not as active as he used to be. And he did play double capos, I believe. And wait, did I play him first? I may not have played him first. No. I think no. I didn't play Spirojin first. I played. Who did I play first? Actually, I'm not sure who I played first, but I do believe. Either way, it doesn't matter who I played first because it doesn't really matter. There's no reason. It doesn't matter who came first. But either way, Spirojin, he used double capos, and I beat him 2-0. It wasn't that hard. I could tell he was giving me a lot of respect. He didn't throw a lot of capo mix-ups in my face. He tried to play a lot of footsies with capos, but I guess I just used the proper moves that were good against capos. And back laws back 2 and lays down 4. I kept him out, and I blocked when they needed to, and I got away with a victory that wasn't too difficult. Although I could tell I couldn't really go ham on the guy because I respected him as well. GG to that, knocked Spirojin into losers. Third round, I played against a guy named Luis. Luis used Elisa. Let's see, Elisa and I believe what's his name? Elisa Capo, Lisa Christie, I think. That game was a little bit tougher because one, I don't know anything about Lisa, and 2, I'm scared as fuck against capos because I hate their mix-ups. So that game didn't go as well as I thought it would. There were a couple close matches. I do believe I did 2-0 him as well, but it did come close a couple times. I think one of the matches was 2-2 in the rounds anyways. But I beat him, and I don't know. That guy kind of looked like he had a salty look on his face. I'm not really sure. No, he didn't look that salty, but I think he was a little intimidated by me. I'm not sure. Maybe he was, maybe he wasn't. I don't know. But I think I just played better than him. He had the matchup advantage because I didn't know anything about his characters. But I think I just got away with the victory there because I just played more solid. Third match, I played against NG Obscure, who was from Atlanta, and he is a really good player. He plays... I'm sorry, I'm putting tissue in front of my face because I'm sniffling today. He plays Elisa and Wang, and that team is so unorthodox. I don't know anything about Elisa. I know a little bit about Wang, so I just break every 1+2 throw possible. Every time he throws it, I just break 1+2. But I guess my match knowledge against them wasn't as good. But, I mean, the first match, I got wrecked kind of hard. It was 1-3 and 1-3 in the rounds. But I was playing fairly well. It's just that he was playing better. The cool thing I remember from the first match was that his option select to Law's Shaolin Spin Kick DSS mix-up, instead of ducking the Shaolin Spin Kicks, after the Shaolin Spin Kick, he just does a Wang Parry, or whatever it's called, the Immobilizer, Equalizer, whatever I forgot what it's called, but he does that, and any kind of mix-up I throw out, with the exception of like a slow mid or a low, will get stuffed completely. So he was really smart in doing that, and that way, because of that, I couldn't really do any TSS mix-ups on him. But the thing is, the first time I realized that he was doing that, I changed it up, and we were near the balcony break on the Norway stage, and I did Shaolin Spin Kick, and then I DSS'd it into Legend Kick. Now, just like I thought, he tried to, do his Wang Parry against the DSS mix-up, but because the Legend Kick is so slow, his Wang Parry's active frames already left the building, and I just Legend Kicked him, broke the wall, and started a combo. And he was like, "Oh!" He's like, "Yeah." I was like, "Yeah, I know how to think as well. I are the smart player." But I think I tagged into Lei because of the balcony break, and the combo didn't go properly, and Lei stayed in too long and he died. So I lost that match, whatever. And the second match, I almost beat him. We were on the boat stage, and it got pretty close. I played a lot smarter. I used a lot more Lei mix-ups. I understood that I didn't know his character, so I kind of played a little safe, but I abused the fact that Lei has a ton of mix-ups, and I almost won. It came down to the final round, and I had rage. I had the life lead. He was low, and the stupidest choke in the world happened, because pretty much he was Elisa, and I guess it was either a last desperation attempt or it was actual strategy. I don't know, but he fired an Elisa missile, and I was like, "Oh, I'm just gonna sidestep it." But stupidly, I didn't jump. I didn't sidestep properly, and I jumped instead, and I got hit by the missile, and I lost. It was pretty stupid because I had a bunch of people spectating my match, and everybody knew that I easily could have had the match. It was obviously in my favor, and I just threw the game. And I remember NYC Fab looking at me like, "Man, what are you doing?" He's like, "What did you just do? How could you throw that away?" And I was like, yeah, it happens. Everyone's like, it happens. But I hugged it out with Obscure, and it was respect though. I respect it. It happens, it happens in the tournament. So I got into losers, and I played against Jiraiya. And at this point, I'm really far into the pool. I am one of the last people in the pool. Jiraiya just lost to GM, so I think he was pretty salty already that he was in losers to GM. And Jiraiya played Asuka Bruce at first. That team wasn't that great. Well, I mean, it probably is a good team, but I abused a lot of Lei mix-ups and a lot of counter hit setups that I have. And he kind of just got wrecked the first match. Second match, he switched to, I believe, what his main is. His main is actually Xiaoyu Dragunov. And I was like, "Oh, Xiaoyu, interesting." And I was like, "Oh, I better be afraid of those mix-ups." But I guess, he just fell for a lot of Lei baits and mix-ups, especially a lot of the play-dead ones, the ones that I really prefer to use a lot. And I could see him getting visually salty during the match. He was getting pretty salty that he was falling for all these Lei baits, and maybe I was playing a little bit YOLO. I used a lot of Lei up forward 3s and a lot of counter hit 4s, but I mean, I did take both matches pretty solidly, if I remember. And I shook his hand, and he just stomped off. I'm pretty sure he was pretty mad. So, but yeah, I think you need to chill out. But I guess, when you're mad, you're mad. I can't really do anything about that. So I beat him, and I'm 4-1 at the tournament. So I'm in losers quarterfinals, and if I beat my next opponent, I would have gone into losers finals or winners final. No, losers finals, yeah. And if I beat the person there, I definitely would have been guaranteed for top 8. So I had 2 more matches to go, and I would be guaranteed for top 8. But then unfortunately, Fred Distance, who I met at the tournament, he plays double bobs or double Lees. He actually knocked out GM into losers, surprisingly, and I mean, shout out to him, that's quite an accomplishment. And unfortunately, because of that, he knocked GM into me, and I had to play GM. First match, I got wrecked completely, but the crazy thing what was happening was our monitor that we were playing on was really, really unstable. And I mean unstable, I mean like the stand for it was really shitty. It was like breaking. So we played once, and the monitor just fell. It fell down while we were playing, and we were like, okay, whatever, let's not, you know, it's whatever, one paused, whatever, let's just go back to it. And we kept playing, and I was doing really well, because I psyched myself up to play GM. I was like, okay, you know how to play GM, you just have to play his footsie game, because you can't abuse lane mix-ups on the dude, he's too smart for that, don't whiff, you know, I had my head in the game, I was like, alright, I got this. But, because the monitor fell again during the match, in a match that it was round 1, and I already had a huge life lead, I was doing really well, the monitor fell again, and we had to switch stations, because we were like, fuck this, okay, fuck the monitor, it's not gonna work out for us. So we switched stations, and we got into the first match again, because we had to restart it, obviously, and he played a lot better in our first match, and I got wrecked. I got 3-0 at the first match. Second match, I played a lot smarter, because pretty much I think he had warmed up to me from the first match on the broken monitor. So when I tried to do it again, I was out of sync, because, you know, we had to move, and he was still, you know, still on fire, and obviously I got wrecked. Second match, I picked myself up, and I played like how I did in the first match before the monitor broke. Sorry, sniffle. And I did get up to 2-0 with him. I did get 2 rounds in a row, and I was pretty proud of that, but I remember him distinctly, like, he had something on his lap, like maybe his bag or something, and he just, like, put it on the floor after that second match. And after I beat him twice, I was up 2 rounds, and from there on, I made a ton of mistakes, and he played a lot better, and he knocked me out of the tournament. You know, it's whatever, because it's GM, you know, what can you expect? But I'm just happy that I played really well, and in the end, I just did super well, you know. I mean, that's probably the best I've ever done in a tournament outside of Apex, but Apex was pretty small, so I don't really want to count that as much. So I'm pretty proud that I made top 32. I don't think it's top 16, I think top 32. Maybe it's top 16, maybe top 32, but I'm not sure. Probably top 16. So, I mean, top 32. So I'm pretty happy about that, happy about my performance, and the fact that I was able to, you know, get close with a lot of good players, and, you know, take 2 rounds from GM straight, 2 rounds straight from GM, I think, you know, I have the capability to be really great, so I'm confident about my future in the competitive scene. I'm not gonna, like, focus 100% of my time to it, because, like, you know, I have school and stuff, but I'm confident about it, and I'm planning on going to NEC this December, so cheers to that. And hopefully I'll see some of you guys there. Maybe not, maybe so, but I'm definitely going to be enjoying Tekken, because I had a great time. Watched top 8, met some good players. Top 8 was pretty whatever, but I mean, we got to the grand finals was pretty good because of how close. I mean, how it was an underdog versus GM, and he had the chance, but I guess in the end he just, you know, he collapsed mentally under GM's pressure, which is unfortunate, because the other guy was in winners and GM was in losers, and GM came back 6-0. So, you know, it's quite an accomplishment, but, you know, the other guy had a lot of chances to win. He had six matches to figure it out, but I guess in the end he just collapsed mentally. Shout outs to him. I believe his name was something. It's a short name. I forgot what it is. I'll look it up later. Locke, yeah, LOC, just LOC. Good player. Played Jin Feng, and then he switched to Jin Huarong for one match, and that did not help him at all. So, because he definitely should have stuck with Feng, because Huarong is not the kind of player, not the kind of character I think that's good against footsies, and GM is really good at footsies. So there you go. I keep saying but yeah, that's pretty much. I finished Summer Jam, met some cool people, had a good time, watched top 8. And I think that's all I have to say about that. And like I said, I wanted to wrap this up really quickly, so it's been 15 minutes right up, so I should probably shut up. But I just want to say that this is September, and school has once again started for me, and it's gonna be a busy semester. I have a lot of work to do, so I just want to let you guys know that videos are gonna be coming out a lot slower, but they will be coming out. I promise you, I will try to get stuff out as much as I can. But things will be a lot slower, so you won't be seeing a lot of big projects anytime soon. But I'm just gonna try as hard as I can to keep up with the YouTube as much as I can keep up with school, because I have a pretty stacked schedule, and I don't have a lot of time to work on YouTube alone. But I will be uploading gameplay, some Tekken stuff, and more, of course, some Let's Play stuff. So I will see you guys later. That's pretty much what's going on. That was Summer Jam. And I'm just ending this so awkwardly, but whatever. And I'll see you guys later. I just end this now.